It's your fault. The teacher didn't explain that good, hence my results. That company should have understood my worth and what I can contribute with. Their loss. My father didn't raise me to be that man that you want. Maybe you and I are incompatible. The government should raise the pension. How come we chose those crooked people to lead our country? Some things will never change. Accountability can feel like one of those topics business people discuss and emphasize a lot. Because even as I remember myself, the world of business, especially if you're working as some kind of consultant, expects you to own up your progress and be the force that drives the process of always finding something to contribute with. The truth is, the concept of accountability has to be applied in everybody's life, having a personal accountability. I have never thought about owning it before one of my professors mentioned it. Taking responsibility for your own actions seems like a clear ideology, but it's not totally that obvious when it comes to practice. We people are very accustomed to playing that blame game. Sometimes you don't even know who started that chain. Just that all hell has broken loose and everybody blaming on everybody. So to dodge that kind of predicaments, accountability and ownership is a convenient way to hold people responsible for eventual outcomes within their area of expertise. In that way, they feel much more engaged and have a personal authority over a coarser portion of a greater project which can be felt fulfilling. In some ways, I think many people feel accountable for the most parts of their lives. But as for transforming one's living situation to become better in any aspect, people can neglect really important nuances. It's very common to hear what people strive and want for their lives, their dreams, their goals, their ambitions, but it's very seldom to hear about the hows, the means of getting there. We tend to see the glamour, ovations, and celebration of a success journey, but forget how much tedious and hard work has to be put in, invested behind the scenes in order to achieve any greatness. And that's where the accountability comes into the picture. Accountability is having the responsibility and authority to act and fully own the consequential outcome of that action. Taking accountability of your life and everything that comes with it is the first step towards a real change. If being responsible is not even on a radar, the blaming will never stop. My dad was an a-hole. He trashed our family, left both me and Ma scarred for life. Because of him, I have no clue what to do with my life and how to turn it around. Family members, friends, colleagues, these type of people are everywhere, blaming on everybody but themselves. This went wrong, that's why it ended up like this. He is stupid and incompetent, so I have failed the joint work that we were involved in. It's always something else that seems to be the problem. Guess what? If you have no control over the source of the issue, you have no way to resolve it, which basically implies you being helpless all the time. Nothing is under your influence, so it's impossible to get it done. As I said previously, taking accountability is the first stage of evolving to the next level. The minute you can acknowledge that your fate lies in your hands is the minute when you can start to take the action towards the betterment. Becoming responsible for your own actions is a matter of life and death. Because if you do nothing, no one else will. You can blame people, things, and outcomes for your poor life conditions all you want, but it won't solve any problems. Taking accountability for your life is like setting expectations for what you want to accomplish. It doesn't have to do with material or career expectations. It's just for you to know in which direction you want to move, in which direction your growth going to develop. Doing that, you establish a clear vision of your path and invite action to go there. Action is what separates a dreamer from a success. That action is a seed for a long-term commitment. You have to get into a habit of evaluating yourself and how far you have come. Stopping for a brief moment and looking back for sign of progress. In most cases, progress can be a very small incremental change. It's important to acknowledge your work, commitment, and appreciate the journey that you have done so far. Personally, I was never good at patting my own back and giving myself credit for my accomplishments. In a way, it kept me sharp and I wasn't trying to relax. Rather, stay focused. I felt that every time I hit a milestone, I won a battle. But the celebration would only come after I win the war. This attitude makes you intensive and effective, but it messes with your head because you don't come from a place of peace. Rather, stress and not enjoying the present moment. One thing was for sure. I didn't have any time to blame on someone, even if I wanted somebody to show me the path. I'm saying this not to brag, rather to explain how my ambitions were blinding. To get a deeper understanding of what accountability represents, try to always link your actions to the hypothetical and real consequences, like what is going to happen if you don't take certain actions, or what has already happened because you did what you did. I have told previously that one of my biggest motivators to push myself was to realize that I could live a life of abundance, and not reaching that goal would always make me anxious. Just imagining myself at old age, laying on a deathbed and thinking of unrealized potential. It just clicked that no one else would do that for me. So I had to take responsibility of my destiny, if you might. Being open-minded and acquiring feedback from the outside is very valuable so that we can evaluate the worth and effectiveness of our actions. One can become very numb to things that surrounds us constantly. External opinions, hopefully unbiased ones, can bring a lot of freshness to the process of setting goals. Ultimately, to feel that sense of accountability, the best tool would be to follow your purpose. In that way, you will be honored to keep that commitment because you will be enjoying me time, doing what you love. Of course, it will come time when you feel down, not up to par, maybe sick or having hormonal disbalance because of dieting. But you have to make your way around that. And keep your promise to yourself, not giving up, always pushing, always growing. Accountability is really about not blaming things out of our control and make sure that we play our part according to the plan. What is your plan and how do you stay committed? And remember, with a great power comes a great responsibility. Hossein out.